What's up, everybody? We'll see live. Happy holidays, everybody. It is the holidays, and it's also very romantic during the holidays. So, this episode, Magnus, how are you, by the way?
I'm good. I actually finished off my last coursework, so I'm happy.
Congratulations, buddy. You deserve a break, and I hope you and your wife enjoy it. Speaking of wife, so this topic is: should the man always pay? Here, well, let's speak live now. Magnus, should the man always pay? It kind of is a big thing for people who are dating. So I am dating. I'm on the dating scene, and you are a married man. So this is interesting because we're both at different parts of our lives. Presumably,
My wife just called me, but she has to wait.
hey,
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna do one thing super quickly.
This is a smart man right here. This is why he's still married, because he when the wife calls, he knows that he has to. Smart man, if you don't, you're in big trouble, buddy. So ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. This man. So today's show though is should the man always pay? Now typically it goes about dating, but presumably if you're already married, you already hashed that out with your wife or your husband. And there's not an issue because you already made it to marriage and shouldn't be an issue. But dating, I'm on the dating scene, and Magnus is married. So Magnus, did you respond to the message?
I'm good.
Okay, because I don't want to get you in trouble, man. So
don't worry about it.
Now, okay, so let's talk about this. So, I like I said, we're both at different parts of our life. However, okay, whatever works for the couple, there's no right or wrong here. But I think that if a man has a job and if a woman has a job, I'm not saying it has to be exactly 50-50, but my understanding and how I live is, relationships are reciprocal. They're two-way street. Again, I'm not saying you have to count everything to 50-50, but it should be a general, whatever, 60-40, 53 or 54, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be. So I think that when I date, I expect, especially the first date, I'll pay. Second date, I'll pay. And when I say pay, Magnus, I mean not only for dinner or lunch or breakfast, but when the debate is should a man pay, I'm also referring to vacations or a weekend getaway or going to a movie or a show or dinner. Should the man always pay? So I don't think the man should always pay. I think once you get past the first date or two, then the man and the woman should should reciprocate. Hey, honey, thank you so much for paying. I got this one. That's, again, you both have jobs. Now, if the woman doesn't have a job, the woman lost her job. Like for me, if I'm with a woman and she loses her job or whatever, honey, I got you. You never have to pay. But presumably, hey, I'm a professional. You're a professional. We both got jobs. Money talks, bullshit walks. And again, I'm not counting, but I'm not also blind. Magnus, what do you think? You're married. What say you?
First off, I think it's very individual to each couple, and I also want to add: are you looking for love, or are you looking for financial stability? Right. So,
are you talking about who? The woman or the man looking?
Both. It goes both. I mean, are you judging a person completely by what type of money situation they're in right now?
But by the way, I mean, I could be a millionaire.
Because I think that's you start there, because if you start there, if you just think that this is about money, then good luck. I mean, I don't think that you're gonna find too much of love that way, because you're looking at money. So then, first of all, your focus should be get rich instead. Why do you even want to go on a date then?
Yeah, well, okay.
Like you want to date. You want to date money. You don't want to date a person.
Well, then there's, by the way, there's a lot of that out there. Let me ask you. So, what do you and your wife do? Like when you were dating, or now? Like, again, no one's keeping track, but generally speaking, I mean, does your wife pay once in a while, or no?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the same thing. Like right now, my wife is making more money than I am, and I have no issues with a female making more money than a man. I mean, today, and I think this is like, I might be typical Swedish, because I dated several girls that were making more money than I did at the time. I mean, I was a student, and being a PhD student, you even if I had a salary, I'm not making a ton of money.
Well, here's my thing, right? I've dated women where I make more money than them, and I've dated women where they make more money than me.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not. That's the thing, right? this whole argument, as I see it, it's not about money. It's about the premise. It's about
Yeah.
reciprocity, reciprocation. Like when I've dated women who made multiple millions per year, okay, more than me, I would always, even though they made more than me, I'd be like, hey, honey, let me pay this dinner, okay, or let me pay this weekend after we're going out
Yeah.
away. Like you always, let me do it because even though they make much more than me, like I want to be part of the relationship. I'm not looking for a mommy, and I don't want a woman to look for me as a daddy. You know, like if you're
Yeah.
a girl, you know, like equal rights,
It's
everybody wants to be
unattractive.
equal until it's time to be equal. Then it's like, hey, oh, hey, I don't want to be equal. You know,
No, but it's also the same thing if you're going out. If the person says like you if you're unsure, I mean, talk about it. It's the same thing too. If you're unsure, don't try to just look at ordering the most expensive thing on the menu, right? Because like you see, like there's a lot of things, weird things going on nowadays, and also I think people need to understand that times are changing. Yes, you like if we're talking about equality between the sexes and so on, then this is another thing that kind of rolls in with it as well. But we're looking at chivalry and things like that, and a lot of, if you're looking at it, traditional like dating in on the US scene is that the man at least pays for the first dates, couple of dates, whatever it is, right? Which is understandable, but I mean, I know also like sometimes, girls jump in. It's like, hey, I do not need, like you said, I do not need a daddy. I want to keep my um views on economy and feel like I take care of myself, right?
yeah, well, here's the
So
thing that makes me laugh, though. You get these some women, right? And again, whatever
yeah,
works for you and your couple, God bless you. I have friends where the man always pays all the time, every time. God bless. That makes you guys happy. That's what works for you. God bless. But for me, again, my opinion is also this, dude. When this makes me laugh when women will be like, "Well, I'm very traditional." Really? Okay, so let's go traditional then.
okay,
You go back to the 1950s. You stay home. You don't go out. I'll give you a little allowance, and
yeah,
then you do what I say. That's
yeah,
traditional.
yeah,
But
and
no, no, no,
you're not
no,
gonna,
I don't
and
want to be
again,
traditional. I don't want to be traditional.
yeah,
Okay, so you don't want to be traditional. What you want is my money's your money, and your money's your money. That's
yeah,
not that you're not being an adult. You're being a
yeah.
child.
No, not at all. That is a very childish and egocentric
Oh yeah.
behavior. And you're thinking, if you're thinking that like you are going to get everything, that's not a, like, if you're looking at it, that's not a win-win situation for a couple, right? A win-win situation for a couple is when both benefit from it in some way or form, right? And uh, and again, like, I think it's up to the individual couple, individual person within in that too. It's like,
Right.
well, I think it's very important that this is a, like, it's discussion. Economy is a discussion that will come up sooner or later.
Right.
It is, it's, of course it could be, I mean, it's not something that you maybe talk about on the first date, but it's the
No,
same
but it
thing.
should
I
be
don't
out
think,
the first
I,
month. You should talk about it.
I don't think that the first date should be expensive at all too. I think like
Well,
the
whatever.
first date, yeah, the first date sometimes should not be like, don't include in it, don't don't schedule too much of a time that you actually like, oh, we're gonna like hang out all day. No, like go out, like, like get a little bit of a connection, things like that, and then move forward, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's better to kind of like keep it a little bit, not like super fast paced in the beginning, right? That you're basically on top of each other
I get it. Yeah.
24/7.
Listen,
Yeah,
if a
so
woman makes more money, if I make far more money, like I've dated girls that worked at like retail, like low end jobs, okay, and I'd be more than happy to pay more often. But I'm just saying that they never
yeah,
crack open the wallet. Like, come on. Like again, it's not about the money; it's about the premise. By the way, and I tell women this: if I'm always driving to your house, but you never drive to my house, that's not cool. Like that's unacceptable.
no,
If I'm always cooking and you're
yeah,
never offering to cook or bring food over, that's not acceptable. If I'm always paying and you're not trying to offer once in a while, unacceptable. So it's not about the money; it's about the effort. It's about the,
yeah.
For
I
me,
agree. I agree on that
yeah,
too, because it's a little bit of a balance, right? That you it's a, or should we call it like tennis? Like you like the ball goes back and forth in between like the sides of the players, right, over the net. So it also shows you like are you truly interested in the other person? And then you like you will pay because you want to hang out and see that person as well too. It doesn't matter which sex you are, right? Or at least that's how I think. It shows you that you're a mature and somewhat intelligent person that could actually like balance a relationship.
Yeah, I find that right again, and I find that someone who's always wanting the man to pay for the vacations, the movies, the shows, the dinners, the breakfasts, the lunches, the ice cream. Yeah, that to me, I would not be with that woman. I think that's a very immature thing, especially if the person's got a job, especially if
Yeah.
they're a professional. It's like, come on. Like again, I get it. Maybe the guy pays a little bit more than the woman, but you never ever offer. Like that just to me, like, and you know, I don't know. Like I said, if you're always cooking or you're always cleaning, I gotta jump in and be like, hey, honey, like let me dry the dishes, or hey, honey, you're vacuuming, I'll do the laundry. Like I want to be a partner. I don't want to be someone's daddy, and I'm not looking for somebody to be my mommy. You know, but it's just like
no, I think you and I are pretty much see it from the same like standpoint. And again, I'm completely fine with people have like it's okay, you know, and God bless them, you know. It's just that I think it's going to be harder, especially females that think that males nowadays should pay for everything. I think that if that's your mindset, you are going to have a hard time finding a partner.
well,
Because
by the way, though, Magnus, I will say this. I watched some of these videos online, right?
Yeah.
And these on the street interviews, and there's a couple of guys that do this in Miami, New York, and LA, and they'll just interview random guys and girls who are single on the dating scene, or maybe they're out with their husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's interesting because you'll get a lot of people, not all, but you get a lot of women or men. Women will be like, well, a guy should always pay. And then the interviewer will be, well, okay, the guy's going to always pay. Then what are you going to do? And then some women will be like, well, you know, I bring me to the table. Okay. And I mean, it's insinuating like, you know, they're going to have sex.
Then it starts to become a really, really weird. You need to start like twist that into saying thing. Okay. So are you like getting paid for spending time with the person, or you're spending time, that then it becomes like, okay, are you kind of you know, that type of person?
Well, but by the way, even if the woman's like insinuating, well, I bring sex to the table. Well, sex with what? The guy's having sex with you also, so he's bringing sex also. So again, what are you doing that he's not doing or can't do? Like again,
no, but like you also heard this thing. Well, you know, I going to get their hair fixed and things like that, and the man should pay for that as well. Okay, are you expecting the guy to come pick you up? Then okay, then should you pay his car payment? Should you pay the gas then? You know, no, I mean, it becomes so bizarre,
right?
And I think, and I think that a lot of these like people that think that way, it doesn't matter what sex you are, you are not understanding how economy and how society actually works. I'm sorry that I have to say that.
I'm talking about American society. Maybe if you're in some other country where it's a different vibe, but in America, but again, you could do that. That's fine, right? If you are happy with a man or a woman who pays for everything all the time, every single time, hey, God bless, it works for you. Again, no judgment. I mean, but it's just not my thing. My thing too is this though. My theory is if a guy is paying for everything all the time, everything like the hairdos and the cars and the bills and the food and the woman's just there, I would say that guy's probably an insecure guy that needs to feel total control over another human being.
Yeah.
And you know, hey, maybe that woman likes that. That's cool. Again, whatever works for you. But for me, I want a woman that's going to challenge me, you know, in a respectful way and be able to, you know, be a partner. I don't want to be someone's master. Like, honey, you do what I tell you. Here's the money. Shush, go get out of here. Shush, just shush. Get the money. I'm not looking for that, dude.
So looking at it, one of the most important thing for our relationship to work long term. It's that you have a somewhat of a growth mindset and that you're evolving together, right? I think that having that type of mindset that, for instance, the guy pays for everything, I think that you're going to paint yourself into a corner sooner or later too, because sooner or later the man might say, okay, I want you to quit your job. I want you to quit your career. I just want you to be at home. Okay, that's awesome. Some people want that, right?
Right.
But what happened the next thing, say 10, 15 years down the road, and say, okay, I'm going to get a divorce, and you're not going to get anything, right? So you basically put your career on hold, and like you put your own finances, if you want to put it that way, on a very like unsure path moving forward.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's the thing that burns me though. When I date, not all the time, but some women, they'll, like I said, they're freaking neurosurgeons and they're raking it in, and they're always expecting me to pay. It's like, honey,
yeah,
I make a good living, so do you. That's what really burns me. I can see if the woman's like, hey, look, I work at McDonald's, I don't make a lot. You know what? I'm gonna cover you, girl, most of the time. Not a problem. But I'm like, hey, you just pulled in 3 million last year. Like, come on, you're that fucking cheap. Like, get out of
yeah.
here.
No, I mean it's yeah. It turns kind of weird, and it's the same thing. Like we're saying that society is evolving, right? And we want more equality and things like that. This is something that comes with it as well too. I mean, it has, if you want to say it, positive and then so-called negative things too. It's not just like you said. It's not a like I get everything. It doesn't work that way. In a good relationship, it definitely doesn't work that way, because that's going to be a very one-sided relationship. And I think that you will see sooner or later someone is going to become really, really bitter about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
again,
I mean, it's the same thing. Like again, one of my friends, dear friends, he started to date a girl exclusively right now, and he is he's making a good money. He's getting a good amount of money. She's making about the same thing, and they're like, well, okay, if we're gonna go on a vacation, like I want to pay for this, and I'm like, okay, I actually want to go to a nicer like hotel, so I gladly pay for that, and like, oh, let's upgrade our tickets to business or whatnot, and they have the money together. That makes the experience better for both of them, and when the both are shipping in, right?
well,
So
again, for most people, I don't even know if it's for most people, but for some people, because like I said, I know couples where the wife doesn't pay for anything ever, and they have good marriages, happy marriages.
yeah.
I know people where the husband always pays, and they have bad marriages. So I don't know, but
But
yeah,
you also have a lot of marriages nowadays when you have economy completely split from one another, because economy and money is one of the major issues why people break up or
number
take
one
out
reason for
divorce,
divorce is
right?
money, right?
Yeah, so they know that, okay, we'll ship in money for our expenses together, and then if someone wants to do something like whatever they want to do, I want to buy a new car, I want to buy a new outfit, or I want to travel, whatever it is, they're more than welcome to pay that, and so I
Yeah,
mean,
listen, I mean,
I think it comes down to this. I think this is becoming a problem, right? So I think that people should definitely talk about this. I think like a general rule, the person that kind of initiate that takes one out for a date, they should be prepared to pay for it if they're planning it as well too, right? I mean, so, and it's the same thing. Like, don't order a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't like pay for yourself if it was your money, right? Don't see the other person is not your private piggy bank all of a sudden.
yeah, I would say this too. My anecdotal observation here is the higher the education level of the man and the woman, the more the woman or the man wants to have a more of a 50-50, generally speaking,
Yeah.
relationship. I think that the lower the educational level of the woman or the man, the more they want to look for a mommy or a daddy. So I find that when both, women and men are more highly educated, there's more of an equilibrium and more reciprocation. And again, the less educated are looking like pay for everything, or hey, pay for everything, whatever. Anyways, but folks, what do you think? Put it in the comment section below. Magnus, anything else before we wrap up?
No, complex question. As we can see, we see a lot of social media interaction with this, and a lot of people are fighting for it. But it's the same thing. Like I times are changing, and people needs to understand that we're not living in the 20s anymore. So people are working, people are professionals, and make their own living. So like, be prepared to pay for whatever you're spending. you know.
All right, you tell him, Magnus. All right, folks. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Magnus, as always. And happy holidays, everybody. I'm going to sign us off in 5, 4,
Bye, guys.
3, 2, 1. Bye.